Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing? Thanks so much for being here. Welcome to Friday Jazz Happy Hour. Kira's here, scritching on Scritching Post. I am been having an okay week. Hope yours was okay too. And I'm going to start with a song I associate with Miles Davis. And I'm trying to find my sheet music. Yeah, Rogers and Hart tune, My Funny Valentine. My Funny Valentine, Rogers and Hart. I've been seeing pictures of Miles Davis recently. I got onto a Facebook group called Rare Jazz Photos, something like that. And been a bunch of pictures of him lately. And there's 2 from an incident. I was going to look this up. Maybe you can find this for me. So Miles is at some club in New York City, the Blue Note maybe. And he's taking a cigarette break in between sets, and he's helping his lady friend into a cab, and the cops come up and they want to know, hey, what are you doing here? And he points at the marquee and says, that's me, I'm Miles Davis. And they roughed him up and they took him to court and charged him with some nonsense. And there's a picture of him coming into court in his suit with blood all over his shirt. So that was like mid 60s or something. So historical echoes of the current situation. Anyway, love that tune. He's got a lot of really interesting versions of it, some up, some down. Always fantastic. Okay, next up, something completely different. I made this up 2 days ago. Work in progress, currently called New Phone Who Dis. All right. That was fun. Trying to mix it up, bring some new stuff in here. Been working on some requests. And don't want to do them before they're ready. So I'm working on Back in Black, but I didn't quite figure out what to do with that. So stay tuned, Mickey and Black. Okay. Let me talk about the tip jar charity this week. I wanted to bring your attention to food insecurity, which is one of those things that's always a problem, but now is being multiplied by all the other things that are happening. So one place we do, one thing around here that's really productive is called Second Harvest Food Bank. Mary saw them doing a whole bunch of deliveries to some of the shelters for people experiencing homelessness. They are a long-standing, effective outfit. So, plus, as an internet nerd, I'm impressed they have a 4-letter domain name. So, shfb, I think, .org. Watching this combine the scroll. Yeah. So check them out. They're really worthwhile and do a lot of good work in the community. All right. Now is an original from a long, long time ago. It was during an era when it's not a subtle name. And it's rather silly. It's called Pentafunkular 5-opolis. That's fun. I used to do that a lot slower. It really peps things up at that tempo. Pentafunkular 5 oplas, a bunch of 7 chords just kind of stacking up on top of each other. And I'm super happy that the Funk Drummer app that I'm using will do you a groove in 5. I thought that was pretty tasty. Okay, next I want to go back to the Jobim catalog, as I so often do. This is a little different than my usual approach. This tune doesn't have it's not one of these nice tidy forms where there's 32 bars and it's very easily structured. It's kind of meandering, and it's also I don't know what to say about it. I'm just going to play it. It's called Waters of March. Stone, it's the end of the road, it's the rest of the stump, it's a little alone, it's a sliver of glass, it is life, it's a sun, it is night, it is death, it's a trap, it's a gun, the oak when it blooms, a fox in the brush, the nod of the wood, the song of the thrush, the wood of the wind, a cliff, a fall, a scratch, a lump, it is nothing at all. It's the wind blowing free, it's the end of the slope, it's a beam, it's a void, it's a hunch, it's a hope. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March, it's the end of all strain, it's the joy in your heart, the foot, the ground, the flesh, the bone, the beat of the road, a slingshot stone, a fish, a flash, a silvery glow, a fight, a bet, the range of a bow, the bed of the well, the end of the line, the dismay in the face, it's a loss, it's a find, a spear, a spike, a point, a nail, a drip, a drop, the end of the tale, a truckload of bricks in the soft morning light, the shot of a gun in the dead of the night, a mile, a must, a thrust, a bump, it's a girl, it's a rhyme, it's a cold, it's the mumps, the plan of the house, the body in bed, and the car that got stuck, it's the mud, it's the mud, a float, adrift, a flight, a wing, a hawk, a quail, the promise of spring, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of life, it's the joy in your heart. A snake, a stick, it is John, it is Joe, it's a thorn in your hand and a cut on your toe, a point, a grain, a bee, a bite, a blink, a buzzard, a sudden stroke of night, a pin, a needle, a sting, a pain, a snail, a riddle, a wasp, a strain, a pass in the mountains, a horse and a mule, in the distance the shelves rode 3 shadows of blue, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of life in your heart, in your heart, a stick, a stone, the end of the road, the rest of a stump, a lonesome road, a sliver of glass, a life, the sun, a night, a death, the end of the run, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the end of all strain, it's the joy in your heart. That little boop there at the end. Isn't that cute? You know, rehearsing that song, I just got all weepy. I don't know why. It's something, it's the wistful thing in that, all that Jobim music. Anyway, love that tune. I'm not sure who the English lyrics credits goes to, but there are English and, of course, Portuguese versions. A really great one is Jobim and Gal Costa, I think. Anyway, Waters of March. Okay. Oh, shoot, I missed one. Oh, good. Okay. I put a song in a set list and skipped right over it, and now is the perfect time for it. Something a little bluesy for you. Kira liked it. No, come on. There we go. All right. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? I don't know whose version of that I got onto, but lots of fun to play that. Okay, now another old original. In this phase of my songwriting career, I had I was in grad school, and I had a world map. Here's my idea of interior decorating at the time. I had a world map shower curtain, but I didn't need a shower curtain because we had a sliding door, and so I used it as a wall decoration. And I was sitting there on my computer writing these songs, and so I just started naming them after places I could see on the shower curtain. And so this one was called Alberta. It would be not till many years later that I would actually go to Alberta. So no particular association there, just thought it was a cool sounding word. And at the time, I imagined it as kind of a rock power ballad, and I recorded it that way with my friend Kelly, which was fun. And then performed it with Penguin Jazz as more of a up-tempo, half samba kind of thing. But now we're going to go back to the power ballad approach, and I get to, this is my only excuse, right? The Rona is my excuse for using these guitar sounds because I don't have any guitar players here in the house, and I'm going to use a costume piece. I want you to hear, I'm going to hold this up here. This is a totally badass hand crocheted, silver beaded skull and crossbones bracelet, courtesy of my mother-in-law Joanne, who is the best. And all right, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but it's going to be loud. Here we go. All right. Hello? There we go. There we go. Well, thank you for playing along with that, and apologies if I was too loud for some of you. Of course, in the room, it's not loud at all because it's just me and my headphones. You know, I had the light set up in here, and then the sun went away. That was kind of exciting. So now we got a really moody look on the camera. Oh, right. I also wanted to... I cannot help but think of my one of my favorite internet cartoons, Homestar Runner, and especially there was a character called Strong Bad who went on a whole rant about metal bands, and I'll try to put that in the show notes because that is just delightful. Alrighty, now let's warm down, freshen up those beverages. This is I don't think anybody knows this tune. If you do, let me know. It's one of those things that it's in the Jazz Fake Book, and you look at it and you're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And then you try it, and it turns out to be really cool. So John McLaughlin is guitar player, and this is called a Lotus on Irish Streams. And in the background, I didn't have any recordings of Irish Streams, so instead, a recording of the river in Muir Woods. So, hey, Carol. Hey, Mark. It's cool that you got to see John McLaughlin. Mahavishnu Orchestra, of course, was, wow. Mahavishnu opening up for Frank Zappa. That must have been a heck of a show. Okay. Well, that is the set that I have prepared for y'all. I was thinking there was going to be one other tune, but never quite came together. Please take a look at Second Harvest Food Bank or whatever organizations are doing a good job about food insecurity in your community. It's really important right now, and it's a problem that's not going away, and it's going to get worse. Thank you so much for being here. It's lovely sharing this moment with you. Please subscribe to the channel. I think when we get to a couple more people, I can have a memorable URL for this thing instead of all these little letters and numbers jumbled together. We'll certainly do this again next week, and if there are any shows that you missed, they should all be in the playlist on the channel, so you can go back and review them. So keep those requests coming, and thank you so much for being here. Kira says it's time for dinner. That's her back there. So stay hydrated, have a safe, happy, and healthy week, and I will see you next Friday.